All right, and I am live. Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, September 10th, and it is 9:13 in Phoenix. I had said I'm going to try because some of my viewers are not the early risers, and some of you are still at work. I'm going to try to get my early morning lives pushed out a little bit further for more people to catch. I was trying to get those people that was like just getting up on their morning rise or getting up going to the gym. And what's been happening is people are saying that they're missing it all together. So there you go. I'm gonna put my do not disturb on. But how's everybody doing this morning? All right, I have a very interesting topic today. This is a very touchy subject. A lot of people are probably not going to like this subject matter because we all know that we're supposed to wait until marriage first before having our babies. But this topic is talking about the woman of advanced age, and what does she do when she has not successfully found the husband, but she desires to be a mother and her biological clock is ticking? So we're going to go ahead and take the time to address this. And while I'm doing that, because I just got to my destination and my break is over, I'm going to have to start driving again in a few. But if you guys can hear the truck, I do apologize because, I'm always working. I might try to do these lives in the evening time, but when I get home from work, I'm pretty tired. But at any rate, let me go ahead and look at my comments here. What's up, Miss J? Can you hear me? You said you. Oh, yeah, we can't get up at 4 a.m. Oh, okay. You're saying you can't hear it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to do it a little bit later in the day. Not too late, not too early. So I hope that this is a really good time. But yeah, the topic is going to be about that because we don't really discuss it in this space enough. It's kind of taboo to be a baby mama or a single mother, period. Whether you're a single mother through divorce or being a widow, people just look at you as just being without a man and having children. Okay. So thank you, Miss J. Thank you, Water Sniper. So basically, I want to go ahead and open up this topic, and later on, I'm going to open up the panel. So anybody that has anything to say on this subject, you will have a chance to have your voice heard as well. But here's my thoughts on it because I think I've said so from the very beginning. Women, we are dealt a very not so fair hand in life because we're the ones that have to wait to be asked to be married. Okay. Now, you do have your women that will drop down on one knee themselves and ask a man to marry them. Okay. That's the untraditional way. And, we live in an untraditional society. So there are many variations here, but still, we have to get a yes or no. We have to get a yay or nay. So, say for instance, you're a woman, you're 35, you're heading over into 40, okay? Already at 35, you're in the high risk pregnancy category because that's considered to be a very advanced age to be having children. So, given the fact that you've waited all these years, you've gone all this time without becoming a baby mama, and then all of a sudden, that tug at your soul, you're starting to feel the need to go ahead and procreate. Okay, you're feeling like it's time. So, here's my thing. If a woman has gone that long, she's waited 35 plus years, she has not found a suitable husband in all of this time, but she desires to go ahead and have children before she gets too old. Because, like I said, once you hit 40, that's too freaking old. Okay, that would be just like me deciding to have babies right now, and I'm like in my mid 40s. It's not going to work. Okay, I'm a grandmother now. I enjoy being a grandmother. I enjoy taking care of other people's kids and giving them back. I don't want any kids I got to keep at this age. So, at any rate, what I would suggest, if you have gone all that long period of time, and you are not a serial baby mother. You have gotten all your ducks in a row. You have the money. You have yourself set up where you have time to spend with the child. You have time to take off work so that you can properly recuperate from the pregnancy. You have your support system at hand. If you have all of these things going for you, you don't necessarily need a husband in order to have a child. And I know that this is going to be something that is very controversial coming from the mouth of a woman, especially. I know, I know that a lot of you are going to be sitting up here shaking your head like, oh, Faith, you giving them the red signal to go on ahead and just have these kids out here willy nilly. But let's just look at the facts, okay? The birth rate, the out of wedlock birth rate is high simply because we're just, not having children within wedlock anyway, okay? Now, the young women are no longer having high birth rates at very young ages, and that's the 16 to the 14. I think it starts at 14, 14 to age 25. They're not doing it anymore. So the younger women are definitely holding out. Where you're seeing the spike in the birth rate is coming within the women between the ages of over 27 and 30. Okay. These women in their 30s, they're starting to, hear the click of that biological clock. They have not found a suitable mate. And so this is my hypothesis. There is no data to prove what I'm saying, but I am thinking that these women are opting to go ahead and become mothers. Okay. Now, I don't know what the social economic stance of these women are. I would have to go and look up the figures. But my thought is if you are a woman that hits all the marks that I mentioned earlier, if you are self-sufficient, you earn enough money to take care of yourself and a child, you have a good support system, then I feel that you can have a child. You can plan a pregnancy, and no husband is necessarily needed. Okay. If you feel that your biological clock is ticking and you want to go ahead and become a mother before you become a grandmother or become the age of a grandmother, then just go right ahead. I say fire away. And I know a lot of people are going to be angry, but here's the thing. Who are we to tell these women that they cannot be mothers ever? Like, say for instance, this woman is starting to go into premenopause. Okay, she's done everything that she can, but she just has not met the right man to marry. She's premenopausal now, so that means that her eggs are on the verge of drying up. Are you going to tell me that you would tell this woman that she could never be a mother when she can very well have her own children? I do know that adoption is an option. But for me, if I'm able to have my own, why not? Why can't I just go ahead and make my own? And like I said, this is going to be very controversial. Good morning, Joe Whitfield, Cool Gent 87. I want you guys to look outside of the box for a minute and think about someone other than yourselves. I know that we have these principles that we like to stand on, and they're really good principles for people that are young, for women that are young. If you are a young woman and you're still within marital age, you're not yet at the threshold of your eggs drying up, then that's fine for you. Okay, you can go ahead, hey, no wedding, no womb. Go ahead and do it. But if you find yourself at that threshold where you're becoming much, much older and having a child at a much, much older age, it does wreak havoc on the body. Okay. There are a lot of different, how can I say, medical issues that can arise when having a child for a woman at a later age. It's much better. That's the reason why they have what you call childbearing age. Your childbearing age is anywhere between 16 and 25. Okay, so you're in your childbearing years when you're in those years. Anything older is going to be some problems. There are going to be some complications. So childbearing is definitely for the young, especially if you want to have a healthy pregnancy. As you get up in age, your pregnancies become less and less healthy. And it also depends on how you take care of your body as well. So here are the taboos. And Miss J says, and we are also less able to afford IVF like higher income women. Exactly. In vitro fertilization. Exactly. So, there's always that. And, people look down on these women and they call them names and so on and so forth. Water Sniper says, what's the new age for being a grandmother in these times? Because the grandmothers long ago were ages 50s going up. Now grandmothers are starting in their 30s. Yeah, and that's because of the baby boomers and the Generation Xers. We kind of messed it up. We kind of passed down some generational curses that we should not have, and we set forth some examples that we should not have set forth. So yeah, definitely not a good thing to be a grandmother in your 30s for sure. Gia Girl says, I thought childbearing was as long as you're menstruating. It is, Gia Girl, but what I'm saying is the older that a woman gets, the more complications she has with pregnancy. And also those eggs are aging as well. Just as well as we age, our eggs also age. And so, therefore, you have these people that go to these fertility specialists to see just how fertile they still are as they get older. Just like men, when they get older, their sperm count generally goes down because they're losing testosterone. So it's the same thing with us. As you age, everything in your body ages and gets old. So how can I say, the rate at which you can get pregnant also decreases. Your fertility decreases as you get older. And also along with that, as you get older, you know that you're going to also have certain health issues. It's the same way with carrying a child. If you're already experiencing the health issues that come along with aging, amplify that 3 times when you're carrying a child. And that's the reason why you have a lot of these high risk pregnancies in certain older age categories. Gia Girl says, at the starting age is 16, then why is there such a thing as teenage pregnancy? Women, we can't win. Yeah, yeah, but that's biologically. Now, psychologically, I would not suggest any 16-year-old be having a baby. And that's just me. I think that people should wait until they're well into their 20s. Young women should wait until they're well into their 20s and live a little bit of life, get married, so on and so forth. That is the ideal situation. Like I said, the ideal. Like when we're first starting off, we should pretty much try to go along with the ideal situation. However, as women, as we age, if you desire to be a mother, and this is, just a case by case basis, because everybody does not want to be an unmarried mother. If you don't want to be an unmarried mother, I am not by any means trying to say every woman should run out here and do this. But if you know that you desire to be a mother, you desire motherhood, then yeah, if you want to go ahead and have the child and you're in your later stage in life before your eggs completely dry up, I don't see a problem with it, especially if you hit all the markers that I mentioned earlier. There should not be any issues. Nobody should be coming to you saying anything. Bellingwing says, at what age does testosterone go down? A man starts really losing his testosterone by age 30. You guys start aging around that time. Miss J says, Gia girl, childbearing age doesn't mean you should get pregnant, just that it is likely. Exactly, Miss J. Thank you so much for explaining that. Miss J says at Bailey Wank, it depends on the man, but typically begins in the 30s and really decreases in his 40s. Exactly, Miss J. So me and Miss J and I have gone to the same human anatomy class. We paid attention in human anatomy. We have to, Miss J, give yourself a round of applause. Because I'm telling you, I had to remember that stuff. Because I remember getting this in high school. I don't know if the young men and women are getting this information anymore, but I remember we had to know. I had to know how to count my cycles. I had to know when I was ovulating, the whole nine. That's what they taught us when we were in school. And then plus, I went to med school for first 4 years of college, so I was pre med and had to learn extra stuff that I can't unremember now. But at any rate, let me go ahead and do a couple of things for my truck so I can get rolling. 1 second, y'all. Please bear with me because I have to put in a few numbers here. First of all, my trailer number has changed and I have to update it on my logs. I'm working with this electronic system here. And then I have to get my company navigation system together so that they can track me because I have the mail. I'm always being tracked. Lucky me. All right, so I'm putting my tracking information into the system. But the good news is if somebody tries to kidnap me in this truck, everybody will know where I am. All righty, let me see. Did I do that correctly? No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. Okay. For some reason or another, it's not coming up. Not sure what that is, but anyway. All right, I think I am ready to roll now. All right, so Ms. J also says, hold on, let me highlight this comment. Dear girl, the government calls childbearing years from 15 to 44. So anytime you hear that term, that's what they mean. And Ms. J says, to be fair, I learned this online at the CDC.gov. Yeah, the CDC is also my online source too, Ms. J. So don't feel bad. I go there all the time. But at any rate, let me go ahead and pull off and I can continue my little chat with you guys. But yeah, it's taboo, especially now with this whole gender war thing. You have a lot of people that want to how can I say police everything that a black woman does with her body, especially a black woman. Now I'm talking about women in general, but when it comes to black women, we are especially held to the cross when it comes to the whole single mother out of wedlock birth thing. And I think it's unfair. It's unfair because now, while I had a live stream talking about why some black women don't mind being single, there are way more black women that do want to get married. And I want to go ahead and make sure that I go on record as saying this. There are way more black women, especially young black women, that do want to be wives. But there's so many variations going on. There are a lot of games being played out here. There are a lot of men that claim that they don't have good intentions for American black women. There are a lot of men that say that they don't even want to be married, and that bears out in the numbers. Okay, very few black men are even marrying. Black men marry less than any man in this country. And that's even with them going overseas and getting their passports. That's even with them dating out. That's even with them shacking up with you for years and years. They're just not, inclined to ask a woman to marry them. So you're going to find a lot of women out here that are booed up with guys that they've been with for years and years and years, having babies and everything with no ring. So, that's another thing that doesn't get talked about. The fact that, black women aren't really single out here. We're not running around unbooed up, but it's not documented. It really just isn't documented. Oh, thank you so much, Miss J. I mean, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Doug, for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. So we have a high prevalence of black women that are running around here just, with no ring. Okay. And I don't know if there's too much that we could really, really do about it. I mean, you can't make somebody marry you. You can't run like a caveman did back in the day and hit the woman over the head with the limb with the tree bark and then drag her into the cave. We can't hit men over the head with the club and drag him to the courthouse and make him marry us. So that is a how can you say, a team sport. Marriage is a team sport. You have to have both people willing to play. And right now black men are not willing to play. So what are black women to do? There's nothing for us to do but have these babies out of wedlock, because if somebody doesn't have the babies, the birth rate is going to continue to decline to the point where we just become obsolete after a while in this country. It's almost as if that's what they're wanting to happen anyway. Gia Girl says, exactly, Faith, and I stopped believing a long time ago that you can change a man. Exactly. You're not going to be able to make anybody do anything, and the only person that you can control is you. So, given all of these facts, if you have done everything right in your life, hey, what's up, Khadija? We're just talking about the unmarried birth rate in our society, and we're talking about what black women should do if their biological clocks are ticking. Okay, if you have done everything that you can, you've lived a good life, you've not been out here giving your WAP away to everybody. I was listening to a live stream where Boyce Watkins was actually talking about the Cardi B Candace Owens fiasco. And I'm not going to talk about that because I said what I had to say on that situation. But Boyce Watkins actually had me cracking up laughing because he was saying that the problem is there's too much WAP out here. He said WAP is at an all-time low. He said WAP is like $5.95 now because everybody can have WAP. And that is absolutely true. I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with the low marriage rates, because I do remember there was a time when men, found value in having a wife. But now it doesn't seem to be any value in men getting married. Men don't value marriage as much as women do anymore. And to be honest with you, I don't even think they value your WAP like that anymore. Everything is just kind of like I don't know. It's how can I say, it's too prevalent now. Khadija Hunter says adoption is an option. We did talk about that already, Khadija. Like I said, if I can have my own, if I'm a woman and I desire to be a mother, and I don't have any problem with my eggs, and my everything is working just fine, I don't see what's the difference between me going to adopt somebody else's baby and me just having my own. What's the difference? You either way it goes, you make a conscious decision to become a single parent. Either way. So what if a woman decides to become a single parent by having her own children? Where's the taboo in that? Why do we drag women of advanced age? I'm talking about women of advanced age, okay? Not women of childbearing years that are still young and can still possibly look up in the marriage lottery and get a husband first before becoming a wife. We still want to advocate for that. But if you're in advanced age where you're almost going into premenopause and you still have not found a husband and you desire to be a mother, why should we be dragging these women? Why should these women not experience the happiness of motherhood because they have not found a husband yet? Water Sniper says, Faith, many black men have not really seen black men around them asking black women to marry. So that usually learning was not presented to them. True, very true. And I get that. There's a lot of things that all of us have not seen. Black women have not actually seen black men in their lives, doing things that they should, normally see men do. We've actually grown up watching our mothers doing everything, and it's become the norm to us in a lot of ways. And I'm not advocating, first off, for something that is abnormal or that is going to be detrimental to society. However, I can't help but point out, and this is what I have pointed out in many of my previous videos, that other groups, they do not shun their single mothers in their society. They don't. As a matter of fact, those women get a lot of community and family support. A lot of community and family support. And there have been studies that have shown that a lot of times the children who are raised by single mothers are B students. Okay? They're B students. So if the children are not suffering academically and that the mothers plan their pregnancies where the children don't also do not suffer financially, I do not see what the problem is if the woman decides to go ahead and become a mother if she has not yet found that husband. I don't see what the problem would be. So we would sit up here and selfishly expect the person to say, you know what, just because I didn't find a husband, I'm just going to kill my dreams of ever becoming a mother and having a child because I can't get no Negro to propose to me first. That's pretty selfish of us as a society, especially when we have plenty of studies that show that these children can thrive in healthy single parent led households. And I do put emphasis on the word healthy. Now, unhealthy situation is a situation where you have a young parent who is not financially stable, don't have a support system, and they have some pretty questionable lifestyle choices. And you can have questionable lifestyle choices at any age that would be toxic to raising a child in. We're not advocating for that at all. Psychopathia says it's the stigma of the welfare single mom that causes these criticisms. I agree. And see, this is where I want to make the separation because, see, the welfare mother, in my opinion, is a person that was reckless and making a decision to have a baby. And then there are people that plan to have children in poverty. These people are idiots. Okay? Like Octomom. You guys remember Octomom, right? And that speaks to two things that I just mentioned, because Octomom, while she's an idiot, while she deliberately planned to have all of those children, knowing that she could not take care of them herself, the system still ended up rewarding her by giving her a lot of community outreach and support. She had a lot of support. So that goes to show, and that backs up what I was saying about other groups rallying behind their single parents. If you ever watched that television program Teen Parent, all those little young white girls having babies, they tend to have support systems more so than black girls do when they decide to become teen parents. And that's something that I do not, let me repeat, I do not recommend any young woman become a parent as a teen. First of all, you don't even know who you are yet as an adult because you have not allowed yourself to grow fully into adulthood. So before any young woman even deems to want to become a mother, first learn what it is to be an individual. First learn what it is to love yourself. You have a lot of these women out here that want to have babies, talking about they want somebody to love them. Somebody does love you. You're supposed to love yourself first. That self-love is supposed to be there first. You can't love nobody if you don't love yourself. You can't be with nobody if you can't be with yourself. Learn how to be with yourself first as an individual. Know who you are first. I can't stress that enough. But the woman who has put a lot of work into herself, she knows who she is as an individual. She has gotten far into her career. She has a great family and support system. She has money and means to take care of herself and a child. I have no problem with this person of an advanced age who is on the verge of going through premenopause making the decision to go ahead and have their children before nature takes away that right. I have nothing against people like this. Good afternoon, Sheila E. And that kind of segues me into a popular person on YouTube that ended up in a situation. I don't think that her situation was planned, but she's a woman of advanced age. She's not a serial baby mother, and she is financially secure. And a lot of people, wanted other female content creators to drag her because she may it has not been neither confirmed or denied because this person, you know, they everybody says they saw a mammogram. We don't know if she had the baby or aborted it or what. But if she did, look at her circumstance. This is why I would not drag this person when the news hit. Look at the circumstance. This person is not a teen mother. This person is not even a young mother because I consider anyone under the age of 25 to be a young parent still. This person is in their well into their 30s. Okay, got themselves established, make pretty good money from what I can observe, self-sufficient. She seems to have a good family from what I have observed. So I don't have no problem with this person having a child. Not that we, not that this person needs any of our permission as a full grown woman, but that's where I stand with that. So, black women, looking at the stats, looking at our behavior according to the stats, black women are becoming more selective as to when we are deciding to have birth. It's basically showing me that black women are holding out for the elusive ring, the way people have been beating it into our heads. And some of us who are aging, getting older, are opting to just go ahead and become mothers before the biological clock runs out. And I think that we should take the stigma off of these women as well, because at first we were saying that there's no stigma to being a single mother if you're a single mother as a product of divorce because you can't force someone to love you, and if you're a single mother as a product of your spouse passing away. So we took the stigma off of this group, but I think that there's another group that we need to take the stigma off of. Elise, hold on a second. She said, Faith, do you want me to have a baby? Elise, if you want to have a baby, you can have a baby, but don't expect me to be there for you now. I'm just saying that I'm thinking that the stigma should fall for the women that decide that they want to become mothers after a certain age, and with emphasis on the after a certain age part. If you have dated and gone through the motions of trying to find Mr. Right, and you're at that age, you're at the threshold of perimenopause, and that can happen anywhere between the early 40s and early 50s. You got that 10-year span where women start menopause. So if you're in that area and you're looking at your biological clock about to run out, Father Time is about to make that decision for you to be permanently barren, and you want to have a child before that happens, I say green light, go right ahead. And we should take the stigma off of these women. There should be no stigma on women that make this decision. But at any rate, I think I've covered all the bases of what I'm going to cover. So what I'm going to do at this time is I'm going to go ahead and copy my StreamYard link, which I've just done there. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the link into the comment section, because I know that there are going to be some people that might have a different view of what I'm saying here, and that's perfectly fine. Or even if you agree, that's good too. If you have something additional to add to the subject matter, I want you to go ahead and take the link, and we can chop it up about it, because this conversation doesn't get talked about very often. For some reason or another, StreamYard is holding me back. Here we go. I think I just posted. Yeah, I did. What's up, Sister George? And that was a great interview, by the way, with you and Concrete Rose yesterday with Miss J. Miss J was a great interviewee, by the way, and it was so very, very interesting. It caused me to come up with this live stream right here. Sister George said, is this thing on? Thank you for the $10 super chat, Sister George. I really appreciate the love. Ely says this is true. This is an excellent topic, Dave. Not discussed much. Exactly. Oh, hold on. Already. Uh-oh, Miss J.
Hey, Faith,
What's up, Miss J?
it's going good, going good. But I was saying
Yeah.
this is an absolute excellent topic because what you're saying is very true. A lot of black women are facing this kind of decision, and I personally don't mind. I don't have a problem with it. My whole thing is you need to plan your pregnancies and have a plan for the babies after they're here. Other than that, I mean, it's just a personal decision of what you can handle. Because, like I said, from my own personal experience, just because, you come from your parents are married doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a great childhood. You know what I'm saying? It's more to it than just a certificate,
Oh,
So I'm saying if you try to go ahead and find a good partner, to find, a husband, all the rest of that stuff, and it didn't work out, I don't think it necessarily disqualifies you from also being a mom.
absolutely. And you brought up
So,
a real good point because there are a lot of two-parent households that don't, that they're pretty toxic as well. And I've
yeah,
seen that growing up.
yeah. I'm saying people act like that's the answer, and it's not the answer. I think we need to focus on having healthy relationships. That would help. But just simply having a rush for everybody to get married, that doesn't solve anything.
No, no, there's a lot of abuse that takes part in marriages as well, that people don't even talk about. You have a lot of people that say that they grew up in households where they hated their parents. Their parents are always arguing, fighting. One of the parents were just totally abusive to the other
Right.
parent,
Exactly.
so
And also completely dysfunctional. So I'm just saying that's,
yes,
simply going down to the courthouse and getting that certificate is not going to solve anything unless you have healthy, functioning relationships. And I think we need to focus on that. You can also have a healthy, functioning co-parenting situation. You know what I mean? You don't
absolutely.
have to, your child is not going to be damaged if you have a functioning co-parent situation rather than the fact of you having a dysfunctional marriage. So there's different levels to this kind of stuff.
And I actually have a cousin that ended her dysfunctional marriage. She was married for 15 years,
Yeah.
and we didn't even know, but she was experiencing a lot of mental and physical abuse in that marriage. And she
Right.
was saying that she was not able to be a functional parent until she actually left her husband.
Right. And also, we don't need to think that, dysfunctional, abusive marriages go just one way. There are plenty of women out there who are abusive to their husband and dysfunctional to their husband, and children see that, and that causes problems. So it's like it's a huge issue that we need to work on. But I mean, telling someone, "Hey, don't have kids unless you're absolutely married." I mean, we would have our out of wedlock birth rate, which is high, but our actual birth rate is low. Imagine if we took away 78% of the babies who were born. What would our numbers be?
We would be an endangered species here in the United
Right.
States.
Exactly. We would be like the Samoans and stuff. You only see them out in Utah. It's just. I mean, we wouldn't be around if we're since. I mean, our marriage rate started cratering like in the '80s. So if we went ahead and followed that, a lot of us wouldn't even be here. So that's not the answer. So we need to find out what the other answer is, so we can have. The goal should be having functioning, healthy children. That's what it should be. Having an environment that fosters that. But
Exactly, and it's like who was that? Somebody brought up the welfare thing because I do agree with that. Now, if you're sitting up here, because I know women, well, not women, females that sit up here and they have multiple children just so they can continue to get a welfare check.
yeah, that does happen. But I'm saying those women also aren't very good mothers.
No,
Once you have the children, I am very, very, very very serious about the fact that you should do everything possible to make sure your children have a good life. And I don't mean spoiling them. I don't mean making sure they have the latest iPhone and the latest pair of Nikes. That doesn't matter. You can have a functioning child without them having the latest gadgets. But you need to make sure that they're in a safe environment. They're actually learning. They're getting the proper nutrition. Things like that. Instead of just popping out a kid because you want someone to love you. And then, we have too many kids who end up turning into monsters because they had moms who did that, who didn't focus on anything else other than the fact that I just want to have a kid. And, it ends up being a disaster. Those women need to be talked about. But the
Yeah,
ones who planned their pregnancies, or the ones who maybe didn't plan their pregnancies but they put everything into their kids, those women should not be shamed at all. They
no.
should be supported.
And that is the platform that I run on over here, that all black families matter. That
Right.
70% of our children are in fact born out of wedlock, then that means that we only have 30% that are in wedlock. So are we going to ignore the vast amount of our children because
Right.
they
It
weren't born in wedlock? That doesn't make any
it
sense.
makes I'm saying it's all it makes no sense. And when you look about even the ones who, when we do have the marriages, the overwhelming majority of our kids, by the time they're 6 or 7 years old, their parents are no longer together, living under the same household. So even if you added the ones who are married, but then they end up divorced, technically
Right.
they're still single mothers. So we wouldn't have no damn kids left. If we went by those strict rules, we would have nobody left.
And here's another thing too, we don't really demonize single fathers
No.
like we demonize the single mothers.
But I
Like
also,
where
one thing that go ahead.
hmm Now I was just gonna ask, like, where's the shame, tactics when it comes to these guys? These men to sit up here and they will proudly say that they're raising their children on their own. And the reception that they get is warm. They get so many accolades. They get people, congratulating them for getting their children, for taking stepping up and all of this type of stuff. But then a woman comes and says that she's a single mother. Oh, scourge of the earth.
Right. Yeah. She destroyed our race, and she's the reason why we're, yeah. Well, one of the things
Yeah.
I was also thinking about, the damage that you're doing to the mother who's raising the children when all you give her is negative energy. How do you expect her to raise the children in a loving, safe way when all you're doing is giving her negativity? You don't think that's going to end up rubbing off on the children and how she raises the children? Where she's going to have anger, frustration, all the rest of the stuff. When people raise children like that, they don't give their best. So I don't think we think about that.
No, we don't. If this person has to walk around feeling ashamed, holding their head down, they're eventually going to look around and take that out on the people that's closest to them. And that
Right.
would be those children that they're raising.
Right. And you're telling them because they had the child, all their worth is a pump and dump. Don't take him seriously. This need to be used. They're gonna not think of, especially not gonna think of their boys in the most positive light. So it's like you're giving off that type of energy, and you're affecting the kids more than anything. But
Absolutely.
people don't think about that. It's like, I don't know.
But here's the other thing. A lot of these guys on YouTube, I'm talking about the guys on social media that talk about this, oh, these are bastards. I've heard people refer to these children as bastards.
I've heard them say
And
park apes. That's even
yeah,
worse. Yeah, I mean, just absolutely horrific things. And then you wonder why the children also grow up angry and grow up, you know, basically not caring about anybody and act out that way. I mean, you're fostering a terrible environment to these children. So I don't know. We got to do better than that. So
Water
otherwise,
Sniper says,
nothing's going to improve.
Water Sniper says, I think because it is more familiar to see and know that the woman has the children, majority of the time the mother is the nurturer. Yeah, that's true, but at the same time, it takes two people to have these children. So if it takes two, why are we only condemning one?
Right.
Granted,
But
I,
I'm
I
just
get it. I get it that we're the gatekeepers, but at the same time, men, you have to also, guard your sperm because everybody doesn't have the same agenda here. We're different people, different agendas. You don't know what a person is on.
right. But I think just because we have this kind of dysfunctional, unloving environment, that's one of the reasons why I say yes, it's true. It's two to make a baby, but ultimately we women, we're the ones that basically face almost all of the pressure, the stress, the everything. So just don't put yourself in that position until you're absolutely sure you can do it. That's the only way we can go ahead and go forward. That's what I'm saying. Plan it. Don't just leave it up to chance, because at the end of the day, yeah, it takes two to make a baby, and we should hold other people also responsible. But at the end of the day, it's going to be us. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be the ones carrying the kids. We're the ones be pushing them out. We're gonna be the ones taking care of it by ourselves, pretty much. So to just not have that situation, don't have them young and plan it. I agree with you.
Absolutely.
Under 25, you should not have any children. I don't even care if you're married. Don't do it, because it's like your life is forever altered, and you can't go back to what it was before.
Right, and the thing about it is, it wasn't too long that you were out from under your parents' thumbs. Have a little
Right.
bit of sense of freedom for yourself, where you're out here calling your own shots, making your own decisions. That gives you the ability to explore being just you as an individual. Now you
Right.
got to go
Exactly.
straight from answering to your parents to now you're answering to this baby, and
Hmm.
trust and believe they are demanding. Children are
Absolutely.
very demanding.
Very much so. And no matter how bad you feel, no matter how tired you are, how poor you are, how exhausted you are, they need what they need, and they're not trying to hear your reasons why you can't give it. You're gonna hear
Ab-
their mouth. So that's what
Absolutely.
I'm saying. 25 and under, even if you're married, because ultimately, even when you're married, the majority of stuff's still gonna be left to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
the
can't
biggest the
just,
biggest fault.
yeah, you're not gonna push out a baby and hand it over to somebody else, and then you can just lay down. Especially with black women, they barely give us 6 weeks off to have the kid and to recover before they pushing us back to go to work. But my sister, both her pregnant, she had to work damn near till she almost dropped and had to hurry up and get back. And she had C-section. I
But you
mean, it's
know what?
just
I
it's
look at I look at some of these entertainers that have opted to be single parents. Like nobody says anything about Michael Jackson.
no.
Michael Jackson set up here and paid a surrogate to have his child, and he
Hmm.
was not married. But Michael Jackson is also financially set. I can't say about the stable part of it, but he was financially set. He could definitely afford children.
Yeah.
So if we look at this in terms of everyday society and women opting to go ahead and have these children before their eggs dry up, they're pretty much doing the same thing that Michael Jackson did, but it's just theirs is homegrown and his wasn't.
Right. True. But I'm saying just go into it with your eyes open, understand what it is, and then therefore you're more likely to have a successful pregnancy and also have a successful child. Because that's
Exactly.
ultimately goal, not just to get pregnant. It's to have a successful pregnancy and raise that child successfully. That's the ultimate goal. You're not going through all this just to have your kid end up in jail. I don't think any mother in the hospital, they look down at their baby that they just pushed out and say, hey, I hope he ends up going to prison for 20 years. Nobody does that. You know what I mean? So you
Yeah, and,
all
and
have,
that's a great point. That's a great point because when you have children in poverty, that right there also feeds the prison pipeline.
it does. What I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. One of the things you have to really plan, because no one gives birth hoping that the worst thing happens. But if you don't plan for it, it can end up happening simply because, the chances are higher than normal because you're in a messed up situation. So, like I said, I don't think you should be giving birth to kids in, South side of Chicago or the Bronx or something like that. There are many places you can go to. Even if you don't have money, there's plenty of places you can go to where you can raise them where they're less likely to grow up in those chaotic environments. So do that
Absolutely.
first, have the child, and then it's gonna take hard work because you're doing the work for two. So you're gonna have to work harder. You can do it. You're gonna have to work harder. It can be done and has been done. Even now, people talk about our high out of wedlock birth rate, which it is high. But do you know our children are actually doing better than compared to like in the 80s and 90s, where we're not going, they're not going to jail like they used to. They're not committing those kind of crimes, they're having those kind of babies and stuff like that. So they are doing better. I think the Generation X did learn their lesson, or lessons that had to be learned were learned by the generations that they raised. So that's good. So
Absolutely.
we did kind of nip that part in the bud. Learn the hard way, but we did teach our daughters, to do better than us, and they are doing better than us, which is good.
And
Which
that's the
is
thing, Generation X does not get any type of acknowledgement for that. They shun
mm-mm.
Generation X women especially, and
Right,
saying that we're the Fantasia generation, that we think it's a badge of honor to be a baby mama. But I don't really see that. I saw a lot of women in my generation warning the next generation of what they had
right.
to go through, or
And also
the
with our,
next. Mhm.
I was like, with our community, we kind of take negative words and like switch it around to make it like a
Yeah.
positive, just to kind of own it. So I think that's the way that we do with because white people used to bash us over the head with baby mamas. They were, I mean, like the Reagan administration and so forth and so on. They were like, we're welfare queens. We're just popping up those kids. We're not. We don't even know who the father is. And they were like really, just really tearing us apart. And I think we just we took that term baby mama and turned it into like a not such a bad thing. So now even other cultures are saying that. I think it was just like kind of like a coping mechanism that we did.
Yeah, because it was taboo. We were being
Oh,
drugged
horrible.
and, man, going through the rails. So you're right.
Yeah,
We had to uplift
horrible.
ourselves because we have
Right,
to raise these children, and you cannot, like you said, effectively raise any children with your head held down, with a low self-esteem. We had to,
right,
pretty much do it for ourselves.
right, right. And that's how we cope. And that's why we're still here, even though we've lived through some horrific experiences. We haven't exactly done it right, but hey, other cultures and ethnicities are extinct going through what we did through, and we lived through 401 years of this. So not too many other people can say that.
Yeah, and you know what? And as far as everybody else, claiming gloom and doom, I actually see things getting better as
They
time
are.
goes on.
I just think we're learning the lessons, and it may not right now because some the people who do horrible things, they're always uplifted and amplified, and there are some people who follow that because people mostly are followers. But whenever you look at the data, like from the 60s, we had more people who were in poverty. In the 80s and 90s, we had more people in jail. So I mean, we have less people going to jail now. We have more people going to college. We have more people who've moved to the middle class suburbs. You know what I'm saying? We are getting better. It's just we were so low that even though we did a lot of hard work, we still have more places to go.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I definitely
yeah.
agree. And there was somebody down here that made a good point. I can't find the comment now, but at least she's been in this chat room making some pretty damn good points. But she was saying that part of us operating in our culture as Black people is to accept our culture, even as we strive to improve those of us who will. Single parents and extended families are a part of our culture. And this is true.
Right. Yeah, that is true. Throughout our culture, we've always had a higher children born out of wedlock than other ethnicities in our country. It's always been higher. That's true. I mean, also because in our history, family history, we haven't really had a long, long history of just intact father, mother, children dynamic. You know,
No,
that's it's only been around about 80 years and we had a really strong, highly married population out of all the years we've been here. So it's that's not long.
and I think that we are learning what it is that we want as a group and individually, because black men, I think that black men have a very different idea of what it is that they want out of a partner, and black
Right,
women, we have a totally different idea of what we want, and it's just a matter of time before we figure out and come together and compromise. That's what I think it's going to
right,
take in order for
right,
us to have more successful marriages. Right now, we're just too divided. Everybody is doing their own thing, and they got their own idea of what it should be and what it shouldn't be.
right. That's true. We definitely I think with black women, we know what we don't want more than we know that what we want.
Yeah,
Like a lot of us are like, we don't want that marriage that Big Mama had. We're not trying to go with that.
yeah, because the
And it's
modern day woman, and it's not even just the black woman, but it's the modern day woman. Period. We
right,
don't want to be working our finger down to the bone, like our mothers and our grandmothers did. They worked and they came home and they worked in the home and they just did everything. And I saw
right.
these women, they were just run down.
Yeah. Like even after they went ahead and raised their kids, they had like a 2 second break before they were back to raising their grandkids. And
Right.
they pretty much worked almost until they were in the ground. And nobody wants to live their life that way, where several generations of family are dependent on you to the point where you can't even breathe. You know, nobody wants that. So it's time for other people to pick up the slack. And I think folks they're kind of mad about that, but they're gonna have to get over it because there's a new contract that needs to be written up and signed, and right now we're in the process of negotiation. And
Absolutely.
and when negotiations happen, sometimes it's not pretty, but that's the way it is. We just know we can't go back to what it was before. I personally refuse. I'm not going back to that kind of foolishness. I'm really not. And I know most people feel just like me. If that the choice is going back to what we had before or nothing, okay, I'll stick with nothing because I can't live under that kind of environment. I really can't. And I don't think a lot of people can. That's why we want something different.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, and I'm hearing a lot of black men. Now, black men, I think that they know what they want. Black men want a traditional wife. This is what I'm
Right.
hearing. They want the woman to, cook, clean, take care of the children, et cetera, et cetera. They said it on my live stream. They yelled it on my live stream the other day. I don't know if you were there, but they said cook,
Yeah, yeah.
clean, and have babies.
Yeah,
That's what they said.
cook clean, take care of the kids, raise the kids halfway by your damn self. Also have sex as much as we want. And if a bill needs to be paid and we can't pay it, then it's up to you. We don't want to hear it. Don't shut your mouth. Don't give us no lip. Follow our direction. We get it. It's not hard to understand. It's hard to do,
Right,
basically, because
right.
it's damn near impossible to basically be both a traditional wife and then also have the requirements that it takes nowadays to basically have a family. Because nowadays you can't really run a house and have only one income. Not with the money that we make. Not with the money that the vast majority of Americans make. It's not even a black thing. But you know, everybody wants a helpmate, but who helps the helpmate? You know what I mean? Who helps us? We're so busy
No,
helping everybody else. Who helps us? And nobody cares about that part. You know,
exactly. Where is our
and that
help aid?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we have to also work outside the house and then come home and do everything else like we're not working outside the house. And then, have enough energy to have sex with somebody else, or otherwise, if we don't and they cheat, then it's our fault. And if they, it's just it's too much. We you
Oh
can't do
yeah, if
all
they
those
if they cheat, it's because you got fat from having all the babies
right, or
and
you didn't
cooking
have
and
enough
cleaning
energy.
and working.
Yeah, yeah, and you didn't have enough energy to be having 5-hour sex sessions. It's like It's unrealistic. Just the goal's unrealistic. Just like they want you to have this giant ass but have a small waist. Um, okay. That yeah. Very, very few people naturally have that. That's why you have women out here shooting concrete into their ass because they're trying to meet these unrealistic goals. And it's just no. Just say stop. That's what I say. Stop. This can't be done. I'm getting off this ridiculous, hamster wheel to nowhere. I've had enough. We're gonna have to actually have a realistic conversation of what cannot be done. So that's
And
just
see
it.
that's the key. What you just said, a realistic conversation. I think that
Right.
these conversations that we've been having, it consists of, like Elise says, of a lot of finger pointing and name calling, but
Right.
nobody actually being real about what can actually work.
Right.
You have these guys sitting up here saying, "Hey, I if I got the money, you're my slave, basically," or "My
I
woman
mean,
got to go 50-50, but I want her to be
right.
traditional."
Right. That's what I'm saying. You can't ask someone to be feminine, 100% feminine, and then also ask them to do a provider role because that's masculine. You're asking her to be both feminine and masculine, and you're also asking her to be sane. That's not possible.
Now, I will say this. Now, if men have this unrealistic expectation that they want these women with these small waists and this astronomically round, huge behind, like
Hmm.
Elise said, they should pay for the surgery and stop being cheap.
No, women should stop getting the surgery and say that's not possible. You're falling into the trap by even going onto the knife for something foolish. You're taking your life into your own hands for something that doesn't need to be done. And also, when you get that particular surgery, it only lasts for a certain number of time before it goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what these women who are going to look like when they're in their 70s after they've had, these giant asses implanted into their body.
But who is
Did
that
you?
famous singer that said that her behind is all jacked up? What was her
Yeah,
name?
I think it was, I know who you're talking about. What, man, it's on the tip of my
Is it
tongue
was
too.
it
I know.
not? It wasn't Keisha Cole. Goodness, I
No,
keep
I
getting
think I
her
want to say
Keisha
it was
Cole.
like K Michelle or something like that.
Yeah, K Michelle.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean, you
she
can
was
just
she was
look.
saying that she has to have some a urinal thing attached to
Yeah.
her or some kind of stuff. It was icky.
I mean, but you can just look at Kim Kardashian right now. Have you seen those what do you call it? Those touched up photos, the ones who are basically realistic. You look at her ass now, it looks disgusting. It doesn't
No, I
even match
haven't
her
seen
thigh.
them.
No, I'm saying go Google it, and it's terrible. That's one of the reasons why she doesn't. She had an episode I think of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where they got a picture of her and they published it how it looks, and she was talking about how self conscious she is now and how paranoid. She went on vacation. She was paranoid that the tabloids were going to go ahead and get a photo of her in her bikini. She looks awful. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And when she did it when she was younger, it looked good. But I'm saying now she's 40, it don't look good. So I'm saying all
No.
these chicks who are doing that stuff to their nap bodies when they're in their 20s, they're gonna look a hot ass mess later on. So that's why I'm saying you shouldn't even do that.
And
Just like
here's the
these women
thing,
who are
because
getting
I,
breast
I think
implants.
that I think that people, but especially black men, they are eternal children. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them are, because they act as if it's a what do you call it? You did something wrong, like you committed a crime because you age.
Yeah,
But
but
they
that
have.
come to find
Mhm.
out, that's dudes. And if you just don't type in Negro manosphere or Black manosphere, just manosphere, that's guys. I mean, white guys are like you're done when you're 25. It's like they age sooner. So it's like the first time they get a sign of a wrinkle or a gray hair, white women freak out. And so they literally shoot poison into their face to freeze their forehead so they won't show wrinkles. That's what Botox is. Botox is a poison, an actual poison that can kill large numbers of people in its natural form. They shoot that into their forehead so it can freeze their face, so therefore they won't show wrinkles. They
Wow.
do that to impress white men. I'm just saying it's a man thing, and I'm sorry, everybody ages. You're gonna kind of have to get over that part. That's what I'm saying. Women should just stop falling for that stupidity.
Yeah, you're right. At some point, somebody's going to have to be the leader of the pack instead of this whole Barbie movement or plastic
Yeah.
movement that was that I think it was Nicki Minaj started that whole plastic Barbie doll movement crap.
hmm I'm saying
Some
people are putting lip fillers in their face and they're looking like someone literally punched them in the face. They think that's cute. I mean, it's everywhere.
and
Asian
I
women
don't
are
get that. I don't get that because and I know black women we don't have to do that.
no,
I
we have
really I
lips
really don't even see why we have to get the butt injections either.
because the vast majority of us do not naturally have those giant behinds. That's why. But the women who have giant behinds get attention, so they're trying to impress them. Just like white guys that love boobs, and so women get boob implants and they're messing up their health. Got black guys like ass, so women are getting ass implants to impress them. It's not enough just to do the natural squats. You have to have an unnatural behind.
Yeah, and then that's the new thing. I think that there should be somebody that advocates for natural bodies in
Yeah,
Hollywood, but I know it'll probably never happen because Hollywood is getting weirder and weirder.
yeah. But I mean, now it's more about Instagram than it is even about Hollywood. Because a lot of these people that where they get famous is because they have unnatural bodies. They're not even in Hollywood. They're on Instagram, but they're getting paid. They get famous off of that, and it's just like it messed up. Little girls are seeing that, thinking, "Oh, okay, if I want to get attention, I can go ahead and do this."
But a
And
good majority of those Instagram models are highly filtered.
they're highly filtered. They also have had surgery. They don't naturally look like that. Even take away the filter, they don't naturally look like that. A lot of them have had surgery. They went to Colombia, they went to the Dominican Republic, they went to, I guess, this other place, but they've had the surgery for cheap. I'm not
That's
saying all
crazy.
women, but I'm saying the women you see on Instagram, they very rarely naturally look like that. They've had some type of surgery. They either got their boobs done, they had their abs done, they had their ass done, they had lip injections. I mean, they're very, very fake.
Now
But women look at that and they think, go
they're
ahead.
saying down here in the chat that Jada Pinkett Smith has Botox.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
I
I
think
didn't
I
know
think
that.
she actually had a facelift. I think she actually had her face redone. She looks completely different than what she looked like that before. I think she had cheek implants and some other stuff. But yeah, she definitely had Botox.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Look at her now to how she used to be. She does not look the same at all.
Well, yeah,
And
I
for a
was
while,
wondering about that. I just thought
yeah,
that she was just aging. She looks like she looks worse, to be honest.
I mean, her face has adjusted because when she first had whatever she had, she looked terrible. But I guess over time, either she went back and got whatever was done first corrected, or her face settled. But she looks better than she looked for a while. She looked terrible. I mean, really bad. That's the pressure they put on you in Hollywood. You can't. You very rarely see naturally old actresses. Like Meryl Streep, she naturally aged. I don't know. She may have had work done, but I'm just saying she looks like a naturally aged actress. So whatever she had done was very discreet. But some people, they go overboard and it's really just is awful. And there's always that one extra surgery they had that really just destroyed the illusion. And so it's obvious that they had some serious work done because they just didn't know when to quit.
Yeah, it's just my fear is that with black women and in general, the way that we are as far as our diet and our exercise, I think that we're pretty much jumping over proper diet and proper exercise and going straight for
Oh,
surgery now.
for sure. For sure. And I mean, that's not even a question. That's definite. Yeah. Yeah.
And a
and they
lot
don't.
of people don't understand that even after you get these surgeries, the doctors will tell you that in order for you to keep it looking good, you're going to have to, work out
Right,
in order to
right.
keep it in place like that, but they don't do it. I had
Mm-mm.
a girlfriend. Her husband paid about $10,000 for her to
Hmm.
get a what do you call it, a tummy tuck.
Right.
$10,000, and then she
Hmm.
went on vacation and she continued to eat and do whatever she wanted to do, and her gut
Hmm.
was back in less than a year.
Yeah, yeah.
And her husband, he got angry with her. I mean, they argued
I
about
mean,
it. They didn't
yeah.
get a divorce, but he kind of doesn't come home a lot now.
I would be severely pissed if I went through if I paid that amount of money and you just see someone just literally throw it away. Like, no, I wouldn't even blame him for that. That's ridiculous. But I think
It's
if
like,
you're really, I'm saying if you're really heavy and you need to have like some sort of surgery to help you out just to get it under control, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with people like injecting foreign substances in their body. Whether you're doing it in your face, you're doing it in your boobs or your butt. I don't think health wise that's a good thing to do. Just to temporarily look better. Because they say the when you get breast implants, it only looks that way for about 3 to 5 years.
oh wow, really?
Yeah, yeah. After a while, yeah, you have to have something else done to have it look as good. So yeah, and you have to have steady maintenance on it. Otherwise, they end up. Have you ever looked at someone in Hollywood and they're like wearing this low cut dress? And it looks like they have like just big boulders, rock hard boulders in their like chest cavity.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's because they either got the actual implant is like too big for their body, or they did not do those daily massages to keep it looking natural. So it's literally hardened up underneath there. It's literally hard. It is really hard.
Well, to me, it seemed like it's more trouble than it's worth.
Really, if you go to the wrong person and you don't take care of it, it is more trouble than it's worth. Some of them leak. That's one of the reasons why they had to go like to saline breast implants to the silicone ones because it like burst and it's like leaking into their chest cavity and it's caused them all sorts of health problems. There was a woman on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Yolanda Hadid. She had breast implants, and I guess one of them leaked, and it caused her all sorts of health issues.
Wow.
So you're, yeah. So I'm just saying, you're leaking that into your butt. You're leaking. I mean, they're putting these lip injections and silicone injections in their lips, and it's just like silicone was not meant to be in the human body. So you're taking
Like
all sorts of risks, yeah, for a
that
temporary
reminds me
fix.
of Sir Mix-a-Lot. He said silicone parts are made for toys.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's ridiculous. It really is, and it's like I don't think people they don't think about that. You're so desperate, I guess, to feel better about yourself. You're literally poisoning yourself, and you're causing yourself all sorts of health issues that you don't need to have simply because what really you want to have bigger boobs and a bigger butt. I mean, yeah.
But you know what? I wonder how all of this got started. I can't even put my finger on when women, started seeing the need to do this.
I don't really know. I want to say it was more in the 90s when it kind of like took off, where people it became more, I guess, acceptable to get these kind of injections to get these implants. Um, but I don't really know when it began. I just know that we started seeing more of it.
Yeah,
Cause
and you
remember
know what?
Pamela
And
Anderson?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking about Pam Anderson was the first person that I knew of that had fake boobs when she was on
Yeah,
Baywatch.
Right. And it's like almost all of those actresses except for one, the one that looked like she was almost a lesbian. I forgot her name. But she was always the serious one. She was kind of tall and she was a brunette. She's like the only one who did not have implants, but all the rest of them had it. But she just became super famous because she had giant tits. Because she couldn't act. Her face wasn't all that cute, but she just had big butt. She just had big boobs, so she became super famous. And then other people, it just became more popular because it was obvious that she had breast implants.
Chaz B98 says black women didn't care before J Lo. I don't think J Lo really made black women run to go get butt implants. To me, J Lo just has an average size behind. I don't even know what the whole hoopla
But
is.
she was glorified for having her giant ass. Women, black women have, some of us have always had naturally big butts, and guys have liked that. But the other people didn't really glorify it that way. She became like super famous. She was a backup dancer on like a TV show that wasn't even all that highly watched. And she turns it into just being like an actress, a dancer, a singer. She can't sing, she can dance, she can't really act, but she has a giant butt, and so she got a whole bunch of notoriety.
But do you
So she
think
didn't
it's
pop.
that big though?
It's not. I'm saying compared to white women, it is. I'm saying
Yeah, I
in
guess.
America. I'm saying in America, if a black woman does it, she doesn't get the same type of attention than when a white woman does it. And even
Yeah,
though she's
because
Latina,
I
she's
watch
white.
reruns of In Living Color, and literally I could look at about maybe 10 background dancers, black women dancers that had
Right,
bigger butts than J Lo. I could never
right,
understand what was the whole psychology behind glorifying J Lo's regular behind.
because she's white. And for a white woman, she has a big butt. For everybody else, she doesn't. But again, black women can do it, and then when a white woman does, it's glorified. So that's the reason why the Kardashians are rich to the extent that they are.
That's true.
So I
Very
mean,
true.
that's just how it is. So she got a career out of having something that the black women had in spades and were more natural. And yeah, that's America. That's kind of you know what we deal with. So because of
But
that, because it became that they became that glorified, more black women felt pressure to try to,
let
match
me
that.
ask you something. Do you think that black men feel the same type of pressure as far as their looks?
Mm, not like a specific look. I think they feel more pressure to be a certain archetype, like to be that ultra thugged out person. I think a lot of like even Tupac himself was not naturally like that. If you
Really?
look at his yeah, if you look at his early days, he was like a sensitive poet. He wasn't this and he by the time he died, he had a thug life tattoo on him. He was acting out of control, getting in fights, jumping people. So you feel that pressure to be that rap star. And I think because he got super famous, even more famous after he died, almost all the rappers after him, they looked to him and been like, okay, if I can be like him, I'll be that success. I'll be that success. So they and also women like that. So I think it's a whole generation of black women who thought this is a real man. I want my man to be like him. And then black guys felt the pressure to be like him, even though most of them are not like that. Even Tupac himself was not naturally like that. He got with Suge Knight, and that was all she wrote. Suge
Yeah,
Knight
that's
was
true.
really like that. Suge Knight was for real like that. Tupac was not. But they
Yeah,
all
Suge,
felt the
Suge Knight.
pressure.
I think that the gangster stereotype were really sociopaths because I've been around real gangsters, and most of them
Yeah,
that were real gangsters, they were sociopaths,
yeah.
and they
No,
were
he
able to
was.
run whole neighborhoods.
Right. No, he was. This guy was a stone cold killer. He was, and beyond that, he was. Yeah, he was. He had absolutely no conscience at all, at all. So yeah, you're right. But I'm just saying, people in our industry, in our culture, we glorified him. We didn't take his life as a cautionary tale of what not to do. We took it as that's a real man. And I think black
Right.
guys feel the pressure to live up to that. So it's not necessarily how you look; it's more of not how they physically look. Like you don't feel the pressure to be like really big and muscular or get like these male chest implants. You don't feel that pressure, but you feel the pressure to have a certain image, and I think that's detrimental. So yeah, they do feel that, and they talk about it if you listen to them.
You
They
know
talk
what? And I
about
think
that.
I think you are on to something with that, with what you're saying, because I can look back at being a teenager, and I remember the boys that wanted to impress the girls. They
Hmm.
didn't impress us by buying us flowers or taking us out
Hmm.
on dates or anything like that. They
Yeah.
did little silly stuff, like they would, pump their chest out and, have this little rough exterior, try to,
Right.
make, they were clowns, they did other stuff, you're
Right.
absolutely
Right.
right.
But I'm saying you learn by what works and what doesn't. So if you see a certain guy, the women are the same way. If you see a girl gets a whole bunch of attention because she wears her hair a certain way, or she dresses a certain way, or she does something a certain way, you're gonna be like, oh, okay. If I want to get attention, I can be like that. That's just kind of how it is. We do follow the leader. We're human beings. So because he was put up as this real guy, both girls and boys, because grown people did not do that. It was more the younger set, because we follow that kind of stuff. And we said, okay, that's what a real guy is. I want someone like him. And the guys were like, okay, well, if that's what all the girls want, I'm gonna be like him. And that's how we ended up where we're at.
Yeah, that's how you end up having a baby by the thug.
Yeah. Because a lot of these guys are not naturally thugs. They're living up to what they think a real guy is. Because I don't
And
believe that black people are naturally more thuggish than anybody else. It's just what we promote. We promote thugs. So guys
but
want
you
to
know
be and
what? It's
girls
it's
want to
been
have
my
it.
experience that black men are very, very affectionate and loving people.
They are. Black people
You
as a
know,
whole are. But yeah, black guys are. That's what I'm saying. That's one of the reasons why to me is so sad when you see them as little kids and you see the who they really are slowly strangled and then put into them this image of what they should be when they're not naturally like that.
right? Wow, that's
I mean,
deep.
you can see it with our own people who we grew up with. You all know the boys who when they're younger, they're great people. They're loving, like I said, they're loving, they're nice, they're affectionate, they'll stick up for you. You don't hear them talking about B word this, B word that, hoes this, hoes that. And then they get around a certain group and then it's like it's beat into them. Don't do that, you're a simp. Don't do that, you're a sucker.
Yeah,
If you want to get a woman, treat her this way. And it's like it's this slowly almost brainwashed into them, and then you have the finished product. It's the
you know
same thing
what?
with
I,
women.
I
We just
actually ran across a YouTube channel where a man was saying that you have to intentionally hurt a woman's feelings so that you can screw her into submission.
yeah, I'm saying they literally preach that kind of stuff. If you listen to, and I'm saying I always recommend it. Don't chat on their don't. I'm saying don't post on their videos or anything like that. But just sit back and just listen to what they say. And it explains to you why we have what we have. They're literally taught this. They didn't naturally come up with this. They're literally taught this at a very young age.
Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of black men that are getting a lot of bad advice from the older, what they call the
Yeah,
OGs
yeah,
back in the day. But they're getting
right.
a lot
And
of
then
bad advice from the OGs.
right, but then what happens is you have the women who experience that, they're burned, and so then they turn around and say to the other women, hey, this is how you handle so and so and so. Don't let this person do this, you do this. And it's like a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's two sides to this, it's not just one side. And so the girls are like, if you don't want to be played, if you don't want this to happen to you, you do this to them first. And that's how you end up with a Cardi B and you end up with the Offset. And then they
Yes.
come together and they become couples goals. They get married. And then you have a whole generation of people thinking, this is a great marriage. Look at them. They're together. And they're just spreading dysfunction all the way around.
And you know what's scary? This new generation, they do look up to Cardi B, Offset, Beyonce, Jay Z. I mean,
Yeah,
it used to be that we looked up to the Bill Cosby depiction of what a black family was on the Cosby Show, but
right.
now it's these rappers.
Yeah. And the difference is you can't even say that's the first generation who's following dysfunctional relationships. Because look at how much Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown used to be celebrated.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that was totally dysfunctional.
completely. But that was black love. It's just, I mean, I'm saying it. When you look at where we're at, just look at where we were. And it perfectly matches up to what we have now. So I'm saying if we don't change that, we have no chance of truly having functional relationships, functional families. If we don't change who we glorify, who we pay attention to. Because right now, why do you think so many girls wants to be strippers? That not used to be a thing where you proudly said, I want to be a stripper. And now you
But
have
no,
girls
when
wanting to be.
during our time, it was video vixens. You wanted to be a video vixen. You wanted to, be able to get in the rap video.
Right. But I'm saying every generation, you're slowly becoming more debased, pretty much. And now it's not so much to be a stripper. Now you want to be an OnlyFans where you're doing sex acts on video. You're pretty much being a porn star, but the money comes directly to you, so it's okay. You're a sex worker. And it's
Pretty much.
I mean, and people just sitting there thinking, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, do you know what you're doing? Do you realize what you're doing to yourself and also to your future children?
But that's
Do you
why I did that video yesterday with the whole Candace Owens versus Cardi B. There's
right,
so many people that sit up and champion for Cardi B simply because she's popular and they think, her persona is what's hot. But to me, I think that every black girl should, try to be more like a Candace Owens, minus the
well,
whole,
right. But I'm saying
bootlicking
the
thing. But
difference. I'm saying and I would be able to 100 because I agree with what a lot of Candace Owens says. I really do, but I think she does more harm than good simply because of the way she delivers the message. It turns people off so much that they're gonna actually just take Cardi B's side, even though she's 100% wrong. It's perverse, but that's how people are. So I think if she really wanted to change the situation, she would deliver her message, but not the way she delivers it.
But how would you suggest that she deliver the message?
Well, first of all, I would not necessarily deliver it to Cardi B herself because Cardi B cannot be helped. She cannot be changed. She is who she is. She should be addressing Cardi B fans and also don't do in such an insulting, harsh way because that turns people off. If they can't hear your message, what's the point of you giving it? You're just talking to just to be talking.
But see, here's the thing. I don't think that she really said anything that was insulting towards Cardi B. All she did was basically state the truth that the WAP song is not something that we should
I know.
be positioning towards our young children. And I agree with her 100%. I don't think that she could have said it
Right.
any different than how she said it.
But I'm saying because I didn't see that particular video. Like I said, I don't follow her that way. There's something about her just irks me. I mean, I'm cool with. I just don't like listening to her a lot. But the way the videos that she was going in after, she kept doing it over and over and over, where she was being very mocking and just basically calling her stupid and so forth and so on. I think that part you turned off the Cardi B fans, people who could have listened to that message and realized like, hey, you know what? She really did go too far with this. But this a certain way you have to talk to people if you really want your message to be heard. And the way she went after it, she just turned them off. And now Cardi B fans, is even more of a hero than she was before, which is disgusting.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think the way that Candace Owens said it was in response to what Cardi B was saying about her being what do you call it, canceled by the Republican Party, and she's basically saying that she's a bid wench to the Republican
Right.
Party, basically.
But I'm saying, the way Cardi B, you can't match someone like Cardi B and end up keeping your dignity. Because she has no limit. She's just down in the gutter. That's just who she is. And everybody who tries to match her, they don't end up coming out looking better. Like, you can win an argument on a technicality and you still lose. So I just don't think trying to match her is a good thing. Because she's just a terrible person. Just to be honest with you, she's just god awful.
What?
No, I'm talking about Cardi
Really?
B. No,
Oh, okay.
Cardi
I was
B.
gonna say Candace. No.
No. Cardi B is a god awful person. Like, she has been her entire career. She's been awful. No one has been able to redeem her. She's just awful. So trying to match
Yeah,
her
because
insult for
and
insult.
here's the thing, she's integrating herself with black people
Right,
after having made a whole career during the times that she was stripping and she was like on television. She referred
right,
to herself as being a Latino.
right. And she
She
called
never
black women
once,
roaches, and she
yeah.
never, yeah. She always acted like she was better than black women, and that's one of the reasons why I do not understand why black women come to her defense. I never understood that. But I'm saying Candace would have been better off if she pointed out that part about Cardi B than pointing out the fact that all these other things she did about Cardi B. I'm saying there are ways you can come after her, but you don't have to like try to match her insult for insult and on that level, because you're not going to win with someone like her. It's like trying to match Trump that way. You can't match him despicable for despicable. He will always be worse than
But I do agree with Candace Owens. Cardi B is dumb. And
you.
I
She
think
is.
with a lot of the stuff that Candace Owens was saying in response to her, because she did try to make, dignified responses that were,
Right,
showing that she was educated in politics, and it just
right.
went over her head. I think after a while, because I was reading some of those tweets, I think after a while, Cardi B wasn't even writing her own tweets.
Of
Because
course
if,
not. I'm
cause
saying
if you,
I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying if she would have just kept it that way, because Candace Owens was making so many good points, a lot of people who aren't even conservative or Republican were agreeing with her. A lot of people were agreeing with her, but I'm saying there's a point when you try to match someone for their ridiculousness that you lose people. So
but see now,
just know when to quit. Just know when you need to keep your own dignity and not match someone like her.
but now here's a pushback, because I like what Elise is saying down here. She says, I might now become a Candace Owens fan. I'm glad she flipped the script and became out of her bag. I like when people don't allow people to put them in boxes. And see, and that's how I feel too, because Candace Owens is always known for being stoic. She's always known for being a lady, being classy, and the whole nine. But it kind of showed a different side of her. She didn't get too far into the gutter, but it's just basically, hey, don't come for me because I will snatch all those edges. Basically. So I think it's important to be able to switch it up sometimes.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Who is that? Chaz B98 says, I like Candace. Yeah, Candace is cool with me too. But like I said, to be able to switch it up, a lot of different people, they like to put different people in boxes, like you got to stay in this zone, don't come out this zone, etc., etc. Now, if Cardi B felt comfortable enough to come out of her entertainment zone and delve into the world of politics, where she has no business, then why can't Candace Owens, delve a little bit into her ratchet zone and build
Well,
her one a little bit better?
Right. I'm agreeing with that, but I'm just saying at some point in time, don't go all the way into gutter with something like that. So I'm saying she made a lot of great points. A lot of people did it were agreeing with her, but I'm just saying at some point in time, still keep your dignity. Don't try to match someone who's in the mud like that because you're both gonna end up getting dirty. And she has to also make sure she wants to keep her
Hold
own
on.
her own. Okay.
No, no, I was just saying, hold on, because I'm breaking up a little bit here and going into the mountains, but I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. But I was saying at some point in time, you also want to keep your own image, your own personality, your own brand. And do you want to have your best moment known you went and dealt with her? Not really. You're trying to be better than someone like that. Is all I'm saying. Just you don't have to match them completely because it generally does not work long term or even short term. It doesn't work.
Now, I get what you're saying, but for me, if somebody box me in the corner, oh yeah, I'm gonna come out swinging like a wildcat, like, ow, you should have never came over here.
But I'm just
And I think
but
that's
I'm
what
just saying
Candace Owens gave her.
right. But I'm saying you have to realize also Candace is in a whole different position than Cardi. You know what I'm saying? The family that she married into, she's about to be a mother. She's not some ratchet rapper stripper married to a rapper thug. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not worth your long term image, your long term goal to scrap it out with a Hellcat like Cardi. Cardi has nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? She's already down the gutter. She ain't got nothing to lose. Candace had more to lose, is what I'm saying. It feels good in the moment,
Oh
but
yeah.
your long term image, your long term goals, the family that she's married into, that's not a good look.
Yeah, now when you put it that way, yeah, I get what you're saying now. Two different lanes and two different how can I say,
Yeah,
collateral damages.
exactly. I'm saying you would never see a high class woman even having conversations with some low class stripper rapper. You wouldn't even acknowledge their existence. So I'm saying you make a point overall about our society and stuff like that, but you don't go toe to toe with someone like that. It does not. You're both going to end up muddy, even though you're right. You still got mud on you, so don't do that. I'm just saying, as black women, we have to kind of
Oh, and by
know
the way,
when to.
Elise,
Go ahead.
I just want to acknowledge Elise. Thank you so much for the $10 cash app. I appreciate it. Oh, hello. Did
Yeah,
I
I'm here.
go
We
out?
heard you. No, we heard you.
Oh,
Can you hear
okay.
us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
going in
but
and out because I'm in this one area.
right, I understand. I understand. But I was just saying, thinking about it from Candace's perspective, that's what I was doing. I'm saying she has the ability to go so much further. And I think in our, especially our culture, we need someone who can speak from the other side, who doesn't, because we have too many Cardi B's out there. We need someone from the other side. So she needs to tone it down a little bit on the whole white supremacy thing and also be able to not get down in the mud with the Cardi B's. It's a fine line she needs to draw. I understand it's a very small lane, but I mean anybody can do it. She can do it. She has the ability to do it. I think she should try it. But she has these white supremacy talking points a little too much, and so she needs to kind of tone it down just a bit. You can say certain things a certain way where you know people can be more willing to hear the message. Put it that way.
Okay. Well, here's another thing that I wanted to point out because in that whole situation, Cardi B kept bringing up the fact that a white man and that she's big when she for the Republican Party. Kept making innuendos about her father-in-law being white and part of the KKK. It's just so much racially charged stuff coming out of Cardi B. Like you mentioned, Cardi B needs to stay away from the whole white supremacy thing. But my whole thing is,
Right.
isn't that kind of like reverse racism?
It is. But I'm saying you have to understand something. Cardi B has no limit. There's no low. There's no depths to how far she would go. So yeah, that's what she's gonna do. So I'm not surprised that Cardi B would say that. That's she has no limit. She's gonna hit wherever she can. She's a gutter snipe is what she is. How you handle it is how that's what separates the real from the fake. You have to be able to take that and not react the way they typically want you to react. Because she was saying that because she wanted Candace Owens to get out of her character. She wanted Candace Owens to react a certain way. And if she's trying to occupy that lane, she needs to handle it better. Otherwise, no one's going to listen to her because every time they want to insult her, they're going to say this, she goes off, is what I'm saying. You have to know how to handle it.
That's true. But the reason why I brought up reverse racism is because, I look at the civil rights movement. I look at everything that Martin Luther King and the people that participated in that movement fought for. And we fought for things like being able to, marry interracially and so on and so forth. And so for
Right.
Cardi B to sit up here and then say that white people and black people, don't have any business being married to each other, it's almost as if Cardi B is saying that she wants us to go backwards.
I'm saying, but Cardi B is gonna just talk. That's what she does. I mean, I don't understand why we would even take her seriously. There are some people
But
who think like her, but I'm just saying, I don't. To me, I wouldn't even acknowledge that with any sort of seriousness.
But
Because
here's the thing, though.
if you want to take it that
There's a
serious,
lot of people. There's a lot of people that are taking her serious, though. When you're in the
I
spotlight like that, she has to be responsible come out of her mouth.
I agree, but I'm saying she's not going to be. So it's just about how you handle it. You're never going to get her to be a classy person. You're never going to get her to be a moral person. You're never going to get her to take the high ground. She is who she is. So I'm saying
So
you
should she be able
either
to just go around saying anything just because?
no, I'm just saying it's just how you react to her. Is all I'm saying. Because if you react the way that she reacts, whether or not you're right or not, you're still getting down in the mud with her. And if you're trying to be a classy person, what I'm saying, you're trying to represent a family that you married into, even if you're right, technically, that's not a good look for you to do that. You're trying to move up in the Republican Party, so called, or the Conservative Party. I'm saying it's fine for you to do that now because Trump is who he is. But 10 years down the line, if you have a certain image, you've damaged yourself. So I'm saying don't even worry about the Cardi B's of the world, is what I'm saying. When you're trying to be at that level, you're not going to worry about what she says or the people who think like her. They're not on your level. If you want to get down on her level and beat her mano a mano, go ahead. But I'm saying you're down at her level.
I don't think that it necessarily down to her level to point out her hypocrisies and point out
You're in a dead zone, so I'm not sure if you can hear me, but we can't really hear your response. I'm pretty sure you'll drive out of it, but right now we can't really hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you now.
Oh, okay. No, I was saying, can you think of a famous white man that's married to a black woman?
George Lucas.
Okay, all
George
right. Well,
Lucas.
what if Eminem were to go up to George? Okay, well, what if Eminem were to go to George Lucas and say, "Hey,
Uh-huh.
you know what? Because you're married to that black woman, George Lucas, because you're married to that black woman, and you are getting that black wop. You know, you're a race traitor. You're a race traitor to your white people. You know, what if you were hearing that from a white person saying some of the things that Cardi B has said? That's what I'm saying.
Right. And I'm not saying not to respond. I'm just saying don't respond like her. Like if George Lucas tried to drop a rap diss in response to Eminem, how successful would that be? Eminem, you're fighting on Eminem's territory. He's gonna simply write a bigger rap diss about you. He's gonna destroy you even more, and then you're gonna end up looking stupid. Is what I'm saying. It's not the fact that she respond. It's the way don't respond like how Cardi B responds. Is what I'm saying. If you get down to her level, you're on her level, whether or not you're right or not. And I'm saying we as black women, we have to kind of see that. Just because a ratchet comes to you, you don't have to meet them. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just explaining wrong. I'm just saying, overall, you don't win that way. Yeah, you won the battle, but you lost the war. Because now in people's mind, they think Candace Owens, a lot of them people are going to think Cardi B. And you don't want to be tied on any level to someone like a Cardi B. Even if your points are right, subconsciously, they've tied these two together.
Well, I don't think that anybody's gonna mistake Candace Owens for a Cardi B.
No, I'm saying on the level that Candace Owens is at, they're going to. That's what I'm saying. We're not talking about the Real Housewives or Love and Hip Hop people who watch that. She's not on that level. She doesn't want to be. She doesn't need to be. The family she married into, look them up. They're important people over in England. I mean, you don't want to have anything, no associations with a Cardi B.
Well, I guess. I mean, if like I said, I understood it earlier when you did, put it that way. Like if she, like you said, Candace Owens does have a lot more to lose than Cardi B. So you're absolutely right on that. I don't know. I don't really see it really tarnishing her reputation that much. But if she continues to, keep responding to her, then yeah, I would agree. But
But
that
I'm saying, but
initial response, yeah.
but she went back and forth with her. She kept doing it. That's what I'm saying. The initial one, you made some good points, and then you basically act like Cardi B doesn't exist. She's not in your world. The people you associate with do not give two shits about Cardi B. So
Oh,
I'm
wait a
saying
minute.
keep
She,
going.
she's still going back and forth with her?
No, I'm saying she was going back and forth. She kept doing it. It wasn't just a one-time thing. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah,
I
that's the
knew
thing.
I knew
Don't
about the tweets, but I didn't know that she was steady
No,
going back and
she
forth.
even I think she did like an IG thing, and I saw a video of her talking back and I mean she kept going on with her responding to Cardi B. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that. She made her points and she
Oh,
made great points, but leave it alone. Don't give her more attention because you're associating yourself with her.
wow.
Yeah, I'm saying it wasn't just
Yeah.
a one-time thing. Just even the multiple tweets back and forth. Don't just ignore her. You made your points. People are agreeing with it. She did have the high road, except for Cardi B's low-level fans. You can't win them over. But I'm saying she was winning, but she kept going back and forth with her.
Yeah, I don't agree with the continuous going back and forth. Now that is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, not the initial thing. You make some points initially, and then also when you keep going back and forth, you're also going to be inviting white supremacists to go ahead and start making these other comments. And then black people are going to tie what they say to you. Because hey, these people, just like they went ahead and made the comment about the fact, well, hey, at least her father, her child's father is going to be in her life, so forth and so on. And then black
Wait a
people are
minute, she
looking like,
said
wait a minute.
that? Wait, Cardi B said that?
No. White supremacists were saying about Candace, at least her baby's father is going to be in her life, in the baby's life.
Oh,
Basically
wow.
saying, hey, she married a white guy. If she married a black guy like you did, the child will not have a father. But I'm saying when you go
Okay,
back and
okay.
forth, you're inviting those fans to go back and forth too. And whatever they do, you're tying yourself to them.
That's a slam at black men. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm saying if you don't keep it up, say what you got to say, leave it alone, don't respond. You can let it go at that. But when you keep going back and forth, they're going to wonder, well, how come you're not defending us against what so-and-so said? How come you can respond to her, but you can't answer this? That doesn't help her.
Wow. And I don't understand how white people always enthrall themselves in our beefs.
That is what they do, child. That is literally what they do. They're culture vultures to the max. We come up with a slang, 5 months later, they got to do the same thing, take it over, completely destroy the meaning of it. So much so that we don't even want to say it no more. That's what they do. So I'm saying she has to understand the lane that she's actually in. She is a black woman. She's married to a white man. She lives in a conservative world. So you can't act like the other white women in that world. Understand, you are who you are. Now, if you want to invite the whole shebang with it, go ahead. It's not going to end up well for you, but it is your right. But I'm saying she just opened herself up to that when she didn't have to. She just simply said what she's going to say and then leave it alone and let Cardi B be who Cardi B is.
I just heard when Cardi B came on there and she did her video, and Cardi B was making references to her husband, and at least she got a ring and her husband and all this type of stuff. And I was thinking to myself, well, as if Candace Owens doesn't have a husband, and she's married, while she got pregnant. So I didn't understand where Cardi B was going with that whole thing.
Like I said, there's no point in even trying to get on what Cardi B does. Some stuff she says makes sense. A lot of stuff what she says doesn't make sense. Most of her actions don't make sense.
Yeah, that really didn't make sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that she got pregnant by Offset before they got married.
I have no idea. I think she got pregnant after she got married.
Did she?
She just got married. She got married really quickly. No one really understood. Yeah, they got married actually like in a hotel room one of those days, and then she just kept her pregnancy hidden until she just about damn near popped.
Yeah, that sounds like they hurried up and got married before the pregnancy announcement to me.
I mean, she when she announced the fact that she had a baby, she literally couldn't hide it no more. So, yeah. But like I said, I don't try to figure out what she does. She's just, I don't know. It almost irks my soul that she's actually famous, to be honest with you, because it's like we have to be bombarded with her fuckery, and it's so annoying. Like out of all the people in Love and Hip Hop, why her?
Yeah, I couldn't understand that either.
And why is she still here? Like, why is she still famous?
But here's my thing, though. She's sitting up here glorifying this WAP thing, and I really hate that this is a thing. WAP.
That's what I'm saying, and it bothers me how Meg the Stallion. I mean, we could have pawned this off on the Hispanic community if Meg did not get on it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. We could have sat there and said she's not black, she's Dominican. I mean, something, but no, Meg had to get on it. It's like, Why do we always
And
have to
who
take
was
the
that?
bullets for other
Wasn't
people?
that Kylie Jenner was in there too?
Yes, yes. I mean, but I'm just saying, we out there. Why? She was just on a song with Beyonce. I mean, even that. I mean, so she got this attention. Everybody's paying attention to her, and then she comes out with wow, like God damn, like
But
really?
you know what? But I heard that Cardi B's WAP ain't that good because Offset keep going around getting other women pregnant.
Of course. I mean, he's
So
a rapper.
evidently the WAP ain't that great.
No, it's not. His WAP is also highly used. Let's be real. Um, I mean, it is. A lot of people had the WAP, so. But I'm just saying, why did we have to tie ourselves to this foolish woman? It's such, and now you have these little white girls on TikTok dancing to this song. Like we couldn't even keep it like in house so we can kind of pretend that we didn't do it. No, we have to broadcast it to the whole globe.
Yeah, we always
I
have to put
mean,
our brand on some fuckery.
damn, that is just it's so embarrassing that every time I even hear the song or I see anything about the video, I have to literally turn away. I just have to quickly just go do something else because I can't take the secondhand embarrassment of our image is out there with WAP. Just absolutely horrendous. I'm sorry. I can't. Every time I think I can get over it, I think I can ignore it. It just gets to me.
Yeah, we're not gonna get past WAP. WAP is now
No,
part of
it's
our
gonna.
legacy. Yeah.
It is like for real. That is literally. They're gonna hold this over our heads for like a long ass time, and
But
we
you
need
know
to kill
what?
ourselves.
WAP is no worse than that Luke song with it was that Pop the
It's
Coochie.
not. I'm saying it's not, but I'm saying we could always say, hey, we may have bought the song, we might have danced to the song, but we didn't make the song. You know what I'm saying? We even
Yeah,
had that
but
little.
Two Live Crew has some black guys in there too, so we got to take that L too.
I know, but I'm saying it wasn't specifically us. It was black people in general, but we can always say black women, hey, we were in the video, we were dancing, but we didn't really make the song. We made this. We
Well,
shot the
you know what?
video. I
I'm not gonna take responsibility for WAP. Okay,
No, it's
Meg
not
The
about us.
Stallion.
I'm
Yeah,
saying we're not. I'm saying and the sad thing about it is we can't take responsibility for it. We're just gonna take the blame for it. We're gonna take the backlash. Like she gets the paycheck from the song. She gets down in the record books as having a number one song. So she gets the benefit. We just get all the bullshit in the backlash. That's the part that really irks me. Like she needs to write me a check.
You know what? I wish that we had like the black female bat signal for when we could just give each other messages and say, hey, you know what?
Yes,
We don't want to be assigned to this fuckery, so let's
exactly.
not buy the WAP. Let's not dance to the WAP. Let's just ignore WAP.
Exactly. That's my point. And then it's like we have someone out there, and then not all of us, but too many of us fail to see that we're literally like digging our own graves. Like, what? Why? We have enough to deal with, don't we? Like, why are we piling on more of the bullshit? Why?
I just think that we need a little less WAP.
We need
I'm
a
with Boyce
lot less
Watkins
WAP.
on this.
We need
I'm
a
with Boyce
lot less
Watkins.
WAP. Yeah, a lot less WAP. We need anti WAP.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
there's too
saying?
much WAP going around.
Too
WAP is going
much.
flying around like frisbees out here.
Yeah. But I'm saying what's so dangerous about music is that is easier to stick in people's subconscious mind. So it's even more damaging that you have someone out there doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. It's bad when the media in general, but it's something about music that just really sticks in people's subconscious and it becomes part of your image, part of your legacy. People don't remember commercials from like 20 years ago, but I swear to God, 20 years from now, we're going to still remember WAP.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's just certain things you do that is just, it's like a nail in the coffin. And we have enough nails in the coffin. Can we stop banging the nail? Please. For the love of God, can we stop doing this?
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
you
saying,
know what?
it's
I,
gonna be
I
an
got the
L.
feeling that all of 2021, the
Yeah,
rest of 2020, 2021, is going to be all about WAP.
it
Watch.
is. It is. I'm saying it is. It really is.
And like
And this,
boy, like Boyce Watkins said, WAP is going for 5.95 now.
yeah,
We
yeah,
we have pretty much made it a novelty,
yeah.
and it's to the point black men don't even value marriage anymore. Yeah,
No.
why should black men even get married anymore? WAP is flying around like frisbees out here.
Well, I'm saying if we're not giving out the WAP, we're paying literally half the bills. We make no requirements. We accept whatever the hell happens, happens. We're out here having, not all of us, but some of us out here having kids with people we clearly should not be having children with. And it's just like, come on, can we stop shooting ourselves in the foot? You
Oh, what's
know,
up,
there.
D Darrell? D Darrell is down there.
But I'm just saying there are some things that we can do to help ourselves, and I don't understand why we just refuse to do it. Like that was an L we did not have to take.
No, we really didn't.
We
You
did
know,
not have
I'm,
to
I'm
do it.
kind of, I'm ashamed that we failed for it, to be honest with you. But like
And
I
we
said,
keep falling for it. That's what I'm saying. It's like this was such an obvious pitfall, an obvious huge crater in the ground that we could have literally easily walked around. We saw it and we still walked right into it. And
but see
celebrating
now,
it.
hold on a
Defending
second
it.
though, because see, me and you, we're a little bit older. But remember when we were younger? See, when that WAP song come on, I noticed that it seems to be hypnotic. These young girls, they just start dancing when WAP come on. But
I
I'll never
know.
forget though. No,
But
remember them guys used to ride down the street with them loudspeakers, and they used to blast Luke. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
I
Doodle
don't.
Brown, Doodle
No, the
Brown.
only reason, no, I don't. I actually don't remember it. I'm saying the only reason why I even know about it because I watched Behind the Music on VH1. I used to always watch those documentaries, but I didn't listen to it. I don't remember it at all. But I'm saying that was the start.
Miss
That
J,
wasn't the end,
Miss J, you that sheltered?
huh?
You was that sheltered?
Yeah, I mean, what the year did that come out? 'Cause I don't. I literally don't remember the song at all. I don't remember hearing it. I don't
Okay,
remember.
I remember Doodle Brown and Pop That Coochie. That was like around the mid '80s.
Oh
Maybe
no,
early '90s. Maybe going into the late '80s to the early '90s is when that stuff came out. And I
no,
remember when them guys used to ride down the street with that loud music playing on the speaker, and it was like, God damn it, the Pied Piper. We used to just drop it like it was hot. You just pop, 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 pop the coochie, pop. Yeah, we used to dance. I don't know
no.
why I used to dance, but I used to dance. I couldn't help myself. It just the spirit came over me. I couldn't stop myself.
But no, I was a little too young for that. But I mean, I understand it because I'm saying the beat does it. There's something about music that gets into your subconscious that when you hear it, you just respond. So I'm understanding where you're coming from with it. I'm saying that's one of the damaging thing about the type of music that we listen to. It triggers something in you, and then, like you said, the Pied Piper, you're off doing stuff you necessarily shouldn't be doing. That's what I'm saying. That's what's so damaging about this song. It's a very catchy beat. Like if you don't listen to the words, you just listen to the beat, it stays with you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's what
But
I'm
like I
saying. So
said, it was like, and every girl on the block did the same thing. As soon as them guys used to
yeah,
ride down the street with that
yes,
loudspeaker in them cars,
right,
and they was pop, 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 pop. We all was just down pop, 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 pop. Yeah, all down the street. I'm like, what the
yeah,
hell is going on? We
yeah.
couldn't help ourselves. We
But I'm
couldn't
saying,
help ourselves.
but we haven't stopped with just that song. We keep doing it. Like almost every generation, we have one of these songs, and every time you hear it, like back that ass up.
Oh
Every
yeah.
single time. I'm just saying, every single time you play that song, even if you don't listen to that type of music, you're gonna at least tap your foot. You're gonna at least nod your head. If not, get out and actually back that ass up. So I'm just saying that kind of stuff happens.
But you know what? I would love to do an experiment and put like women in their 40s in a room, and on one side of the room have the women in their 40s, on the other side have women in their 20s, and just see how they differently react to different songs. I believe that it's generational, because I'm telling you, if you were to play that back that ass up, put back that
Mm-hmm.
booty up song, the women in their
Yeah,
40s will be backing their booty up. But
yeah,
then if you play the WAP song, the women in their 20s will be popping, the WAP all over the
right,
place. It'd be WAP everywhere.
right, exactly. I'm saying because if you listen to a song and you have like a happy reaction to it, it's more likely to stay with you no matter what. And I was watching like a documentary. They were talking about it wasn't a documentary, it was like a clip on how was the reason why Mariah Carey's Christmas song has stayed with us for this many years. Like every single year, All I Want for Christmas goes to number one. It's like religion almost. And they also tied it
Yes.
back to a song, a Christmas song that happened in the 40s. I forgot what it was. And they actually broke it down and said the reason why everybody likes certain generations why they like this song is because how they played the music, how they basically did it in a rhythm. They played a certain instrument this way at this certain time at this certain decimal, and it stays in your subconscious. So every single time you hear just the first few notes of this song, you're always gonna go back to the happy times you had when you heard this song. So it stays with you throughout your life, and it was really really interesting how they broke it down, how they do songwriting, how they make hit songs. And yeah, it's true. They do a certain um combination of certain instruments. And no matter who you are, where not who you are, but no matter where you are, what you're doing, you automatically either start singing this song, nodding your head to the song, you enjoy this song, you stop what you're doing and you listen to it, regardless. It is a science to it. If it's on YouTube, I forgot how I looked it up. I think it just actually came in my recommendations, but it was really, really interesting. I forgot what the Christmas song from the 40s was, but it was a really, really popular song even now. But they basically showed the contrast of why everybody likes these two songs. It was really interesting. But yeah, I think if they did that for like the hip hop songs, and you'd be like, why do we like these raunchy songs so much? And I'm pretty sure they would break it down and say, this is why no matter what happens, you're gonna like this particular song. Because like I said, every generation has it. They have at least one song where no matter what, it's gonna make you dance, even when you don't want to.
That's true. But damn, we got all the way off topic. We done talked about Candace. we we done went down a whole bunch of rabbit holes here. I can't even find my way back to the top.
Right. No, but I mean, it's okay. It's okay to plan a pregnancy before marriage if your biological clock is running out of time. That was the original one. And like I said, I say yes. As long as you plan it, it's fine. It's gonna be
Yeah,
harder, but you can do it.
absolutely. And as long as you're not running around giving the wop away to everybody,
Mm-mm. I
it's all
I
right.
think right. I think if you're physically in good health, because if you're not in physically good health, you can end up having a preterm baby, and
Yes.
that causes its own issue. So you should first be in physical health enough to carry a pregnancy. Hold on 1 second.
You guys down here, y'all are down here in this chat having a ball. What are you guys talking about? 12 play? Yeah, I remember some 12 play. A non sequitur in YouTube land. I can't stand that term. Oh, y'all down here doing the thing. Oh, Me So Horny. I love that song by Two Live Crew, Me So Horny. I think I used to play that song all the time. And sure, I had no business listening to that too. How old was I when it came out? I think I was still in grammar school. Who these songs are old? We are old, y'all. Some of y'all not old. Thanks, Elise. Dear Girl says, if you're about to get married, why not wait until y'all are married to have a baby?
But these are for people who are nowhere close to doing that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said, in order to get married, you do have to have a partner. So if you don't have a partner and you don't know when you're going to get one, is it still okay to go ahead and say, okay, I may not have this, but does that mean I have to forego the other part? Like I said, that's not for people who are still in, still searching, still in prime, childbearing years, so forth and so on. This is for people who time is running out. Is it okay? And I say it is. But then again, it also depends on the person. Because for some people, it never will be, and they're fine with having that part, run out. They can come to terms with that. They can adopt. They can be foster parents. There's other ways for them to experience motherhood. So it's just individual. It's not any one size fits all kind of thing.
Absolutely. All right, now let me introduce D Darrell to the stream. This is his first time up here. What's up, brother?
Hey, sis, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good
You
topic,
hear
though.
us?
Good topic. So, I mean, you taking me back to the early '90s and mid '90s. There were a lot of guys that had, to me, rap, the hip hop was actually had more raunchy or more nastier songs than now, in my opinion. Because when you look at stuff that Too Short, Luke, and all of those guys like that, they had to me way more nastier songs than WAP. To me, WAP is nothing really to me is not even a top 10 of the most nastiest songs that hip hop has produced.
That's what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
mean,
I listen to Too Short too.
yeah, Too Short was way more nasty, man. He had way more stuff. I mean, when you talking about Too Short, Luke, and some of these other guys back then that were saying all kinds of stuff. I thought it was PG, to be honest with you, but I think it's more about the fact of there's a double standard when women create music like this as opposed to men, um, because you have to look at it. Remember when to me Lil Kim had nastier songs, and
That's true.
when Lil Kim came out, I mean I remember Lil Kim, uh, Foxy Brown. I mean,
They
they
said
all had.
Trina had one too. I forgot the name of it, but someone did
Yeah,
a like
Oh,
a top 10 song of the raunchiest ones, and they were like, I don't know why you
oh
think
yeah,
they
the
were agreeing with
baddest
you.
chick,
Yeah,
the
they were like, I
baddest
don't know
chick.
why.
Remember? She said if I had the chance to do it all again, I'd get down by the time I 10. I'm the baddest chick. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I mean that were a lot of there was a lot of because back then basically hip hop was basically more like either you was rapping about gangster stuff or you was rapping nasty or you was rapping about drugs and in the street life and stuff like that. And then you had because at that time the mid the late '80s was more conscious. The mid to late '80s was more dance and conscious, and then it kind of transitioned to more of that gangster rapping, nasty, more of the West Coast stuff started to be more of an influence. But so I mean, to me, I look at it like this: um, the song is number one. They making their
but
money
that's the
off of it.
damaging part. That's
Yeah,
saying that's the part that's horrible.
the song is number one. But before you know it, they're gonna look at who's the next newest and nastiest girl or whomever that's gonna come out and make the next hit. I mean, your
Yeah,
shelf life is going to be limited. I mean,
but I'm
you
saying
only go.
Right, but I'm saying it's not about her long-term career. I'm just saying you're right. There is going to be a next song, and they're going to look at this as the template. And I'm saying that's the part that's damaging. People are going to think this is okay. They're going to do it again, and because she got so popular, so much notoriety out of it. I mean, we already have like city girls. They're already out there doing all sorts of stupid stuff. But this is going mainstream, and that's damaging. Is what I'm saying. That's not that it's the worst
Yeah.
song ever, but it went viral. It went a lot more places. More people see it. It's going to stay with us longer than no one's going to remember the song Trina did a long time ago. Not no one, but no one. Most people are not going to remember the song Trina did 10 years from now. But
True.
this one's
That
going to
is
stay
true.
with us for a while. So I'm just saying we have to be aware of that. This is going to stay with us for a while,
Yeah, that is true.
and that's
And
not
so,
good. That's not good for our image. We don't need to have this tied to us. That's why I'm
But
kind of mad
here's
at
the
Megan.
thing though, it should really fall on the Hispanic community since this was all Cardi B's doing.
I'm saying it would have been, but technically now Megan is a little. I mean, Cardi B is more famous, but Megan has more sway as a rapper now. You know what I'm saying? So technically, when she got on it, she really owned it too. So we can't pawn it off. It was just Cardi. We just said, hey, Latinos, you need to look at your community. But no, Meg got on it and she had some of the raunchier raps on it. So it's like she dragged us into it.
yeah. But see, my thing is this: it's funny how when we talk about Cardi B, it's all synonymous with the black community, and
Yeah.
even. But then we all know that. I mean, to me, I look at it as that we have allowed too much cultural appropriation, regardless if she has she does have some African background and so on with her forefathers, and she's the descendant of that. But that doesn't qualify you as blackness. And as you all were talking about earlier in regards to her response to uh, what's the late Candace Owens and so forth.
Candace. Mm-hmm.
See, my thing is this: we don't see an African American person, even if they're mixed or whatever, talking about Latino issues.
No, we don't.
You don't see
That's true.
you don't see a Republican or a Democratic presidential candidate interviewing a Afro Latino about Latin issues.
Right.
And so to me, that to me was the nail in the coffin of me not voting for Joe Biden, because you don't ask a Latin woman about black issues and so forth.
Man, Joe Biden don't know nothing about no damn Cardi
Yeah, yeah,
B.
yeah. No, I have to beg you differ.
He,
He knows enough. He's been privy to the situation. Now, is he someone that may be keeping up with pop culture and all that kind of stuff? But I guarantee
no,
you,
I'm saying, but because black people have embraced Cardi B so much, most people associate her with black people. They almost
Right.
don't even associate her with being Hispanic, and we have to take the blame for that. We have claimed her. I don't see
have
too
we?
many Hispanic people too tough out there saying, "Yeah, Cardi B's one of us." It's kind of hard to find that. We the one out here claiming her, so I
That's
can't really
true.
fault him
I
for
don't know. I mean,
looking at him and seeing her as a black person because we act like she's black.
But I'm wondering though, because they say that a lot of black women support her, but I see a lot of white women supporting Cardi B though.
I'm gonna say this. I talked to a group of teenagers, black teenagers. Uh, I see a lot of the younger high school kids up to like their early. They have a negative opinion of Cardi B, because I know I talked to this was actually several different. This is before Corona, and I didn't even notice, and maybe you may be aware of this, but there's a group of teenagers that I talked to from an inner city high school, and I brought up some issues about negative images of women, and I brought up,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of women in hip hop and so forth, and I brought up Cardi B, and they said they had some very very bad things to say about it. And they brought up a point, and I don't know if you all are aware of this, but I wasn't. they talked about they canceled Cardi B because they remember something she said. I don't know if it was like a year and a half ago, where she called. They asked her about something about black women, and she said she didn't
Mhm.
like black women. They're like cockroaches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
had.
she called
She
black
said
women
this.
roaches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
and
said
so
it on
they
Love and Hip Hop.
yeah, so I didn't, I don't watch that, but I noticed that when I talk to those kids, they all a lot the young these teenage black girls and younger women, they brought that up as why they don't really deal with Cardi B. They don't listen to her music. They're not really feeling her like that.
Hmm. And I'm saying for a while she did fall off. She did because she would for a while she tried to sell a she had to cancel a tour or a part that she was participating in because she wasn't making selling any tickets for a while it did have backlash. But I'm saying now she's being resurrected and we're helping doing that, which makes no sense.
Yeah, Meg Thee Stallion's endorsement is really pulling us
I'm
back
saying
in.
exactly. That's my point. It's like we're taking L's all over the place. Meg the Stallion has, I mean, this child has caused us so many L's. Like
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
never seen someone under a year cause this much havoc. She ain't even been famous that long, and I mean the amount of L's we took over her is ridiculous. Like somebody
Exactly.
guide this child for real. It's like I mean she ain't even a child, she's a woman. Somebody guide her, because I swear, what's she gonna do next? Ain't going to strip clubs with Future, getting shot in the foot and not even telling nobody, crying about it. How come nobody won't protect me when you're protecting the person that shot you?
Yeah,
And then
that
while
gave them a whole lot of talking points to use against
I'm
us
saying
with that.
she's doing too much and she needs to sit down. And then after you do that, you get pictured with Future of all people. You go from Tory Lane shooting you to hanging out with Future. Like I know she's a tall woman. Could somebody climb up on the ladder and slap the hell out of her? Because she needs some sense slapped into her. She don't making no sense whatsoever. What is she doing? What is she doing?
Okay, D. Darrell had to drop off. He's got an emergency. But I wanted to ask him before he got on here because he was a male on the panel. I wanted to ask him what he thought about the whole thing about women having babies outside of wedlock. I wanted to catch him before he left, but oh well.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, most men are gonna be. Most men don't have to think about a biological clock like that, so they probably wouldn't think it's a good idea. They probably just say, "Why come you didn't find a man when you were younger?"
Yeah, because they walk around totally fertile all the way up until the day they die, basically.
Yeah,
So they don't really feel our pain. We get cut
no,
off very
they
early.
don't. They don't. Because when you think about it, you pretty much have 20 years of your life to find someone, get married, have a kid within a prime area. Not even 20 years if you think about it, because you graduate high school 17, 18. You're gonna have to have some sort of either training or further education. Then it doesn't help the fact that we're in a demographic that likes to marry late anyway. So if you want to find a marriage minded partner, you're either going to be 23 looking at guys who are 35 to 40,
Yep.
and a lot of people don't want to really do that, or you're waiting at an older age, and then the numbers as you age doesn't get better. Just simply the ones who are available, the ones who are even alive. So yeah, you know, we're out. We are we outnumber them, so they don't even feel the numbers pressure that way like we do. So we feel it by age, we feel it by biological clock, and just the numbers available to us. So it's a triple whammy.
But I think that it's going to become the responsibility of us as Black women to write our own narrative and demand
Hmm.
better treatment. And
Yeah,
that's what I'm putting down with this live stream. This is a call to demand better treatment for our Black women who are becoming single mothers later in life. I
yeah,
think that this is another demographic that we need to go ahead and give them, hey, us, we understand and we support you and you are excused.
Right. Because I mean, we've been focusing on the teen mom so much that we just didn't even notice that that problem was more or less solved.
Right.
And we're still going on the old narrative, and we don't even, like you said, we don't even pay attention to what's actually going on, and has been going on for a little bit now.
Right, because I would not lump someone like like I said, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I wouldn't lump anyone like Cynthia G in with a teen mother. I think that
No,
those are two
no, no.
different scenarios, two different,
Two
two
different
different
scenarios.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't know. That's one of the reasons why I never got on her for that, because I understood what was going on with that. I
yeah.
mean, who she allegedly chose, we can talk about that. But I mean, hell, that's her choice. As long as she can live with it, I'm cool.
Exactly. Like we shouldn't even be saying anything about her choice because either way
I
it
mean, we couldn't.
goes,
Right.
she
Like I
was
say,
probably
everybody was talking about it. What are you
yeah.
talking about? Huh? Yeah, I mean, everybody, that was like the talk of the town. And for me, I was just like, if she's cool with it and she thinks he makes a good father, hey,
That's her business.
that's her
She's a
business.
grown woman. As
I
long as
and
I don't
I
have to
never
pay for it, I'm
exactly
cool.
I never heard her get on the live and start saying, and he did this to me, and this is, and, she never did that.
No.
She lived her life. If whatever happened to her, she's dealing with it privately, and I can't blame her for that.
But like if you have a whole bunch of welfare mothers like Octomom really, really bothers me.
Well, she's also mentally ill. She really is. She already had 6 kids,
But here's the
and then
thing, that whole situation bothers me because Octomom had help. Okay, she used her Medicaid to get fertility treatment. There was an
yeah,
actual fertility doctor that
hmm
that helped her get in that
yeah.
situation.
She went
So
ahead and got a whole. She went ahead and got a whole sperm donor. They had IVF, pumped her full of the drugs, extracted all those eggs, fertilized them, held them on ice for a minute, and then implanted all of them in her womb after she had 6 children already. So she can't
right,
sit there and say, I just wanted a baby or I wanted a sibling for the baby. You had 6, and you already couldn't afford the 6 you had.
yeah, we the
So,
taxpayers were paying for all of that. So that's the reason
all of it.
why I
Yeah,
have to,
yeah,
someone like Cynthia G does not fall into the category of someone
uh-uh,
like this.
for sure, for sure.
So I'm quite sure Cynthia G is doing just fine if she has her baby or not. We don't know.
Yeah,
She's not asking us for anything.
exactly. She's not asking us for our opinion, our sympathy, our support, our
Our
money.
tax dollars,
No,
none of that.
exactly. So I have absolutely no beef or nothing to say. I'm supporting her decision. That's ultimately what being adult is about: making your decision and living with it and dealing with it either way. And she's doing it, so I got no complaint. And I think we'd be better off if we followed that example. And
Miss
more of us
J,
are doing
Jill girl said, "Put Boo Boo back on the mic." The baby made sense.
it. She does not want to take her nap. She's supposed to, and she's up here like, nope. But she is so cute.
Now, is this your baby?
No, no, no. It's my niece, my 1 year old
Oh,
niece.
okay.
I don't have any kids, but
Oh, okay.
my sister, she's busy at her job today, so she dropped off my niece and my nephew, and I love having them around because they're just so cute.
Aww. And see, that's where I am now. At this age, I love when people drop their kids off and come back and
Oh
get
yeah,
them.
exactly. When I see her car pull up in my driveway, honey, I'm so happy. But while they're here, I enjoy having them. So. But who
But
knows?
yeah,
Maybe someday I'm gonna have to make that decision. Right now, I'm kind of putting it off, and I'm kind of leaning towards like adoption or being a foster parent because I'm kind of scared of giving birth to a kid. But
Why?
I love kids. I don't. Every time I look at a woman who's pregnant, heavily pregnant, I just feel the uncomfortableness of it all. And on TLC, there used to be a TV show. I don't know if it's still on, but a TV show called A Baby Story, where they would show like the last few weeks of pregnancy and then the woman in labor, and that kind of like scared me
But
because
there are different things that you could do to make labor less painful.
I know my sister, she opted for a two cesarean, so I understand, but it's just I'm still scared because it's just
uh, it's
being
normal.
pregnant 24/7 when you're like heavily pregnant is just looks so uncomfortable.
But it's also
But I mean,
it's an amazing feeling. Also, especially when you start to feel the baby moving and
yeah.
kicking inside of you.
Hmm.
It's amazing at times too, even though it is a bit annoying. Yeah,
Yeah.
lower back
But
pain and
my
yeah,
mom told me, my sister told me, they were like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You'll not even pay attention to it, and then once you'll be looking forward to having the baby. Then once you have it, you'll forget all about it." So they have told me that,
yeah, you do.
but I just like the
Once
babies. The other part, I'm
once
not
the
too sure
baby
about.
gets here, you forget all the pain that you went through. Actually,
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, what are you doing now? What are you doing? What's wrong? He's like, I'm tired of you talking about me. Okay, hold on. I gotta put you on hold because
yeah, go ahead.
she's getting sick. Okay.
Right. So everybody, I think I'm about to get ready to shut down the stream because it looks like I'm going to be running into these mountains. I see the mountains just in front of me, and usually when that happens, that means that the signal is going to go down. It's like the police is up here. Wonder who they going after. Hopefully it ain't me. No, they passed me by. So at any rate, I just wanted to thank everybody that came into the stream. Um, I tried to do this stream a little bit later so that most people can get it. And look who came by. D. Darrell came by. Miss J was able to hop on. So everybody was able to come through, and I'm glad of that. I still will probably do some early in the morning, only because it's a lot better for me to get it out the way early. So, my time in Phoenix is about 4 a.m. Everybody else's time is probably about 6 or 7 a.m. That's not over here on the West Coast. So, I do appreciate everybody that came in to support the stream. Thank you to everybody that sent super chats and cash apps. I really appreciate that. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for listening. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I got to put both hands on the steering wheel because I see the police is out here today. All right, everybody, take care, and I'm out.